Everyone, today we're going to drink the 2017 Yunnan Sourcing San He Zhai. San He Zhai, a little bit of a play on words here, means three harmonized villages. So this is a blend of three different villages in both Linzhang and Jinggu. And yeah, I've been creating this blend since 2011. 2011 was the first one, 2011, 2012, 2013. Then in 2016 we did a San He Zhai, which was a blend of 4 different villages. But this year we are back to the 3 villages. This tea, interesting, the last tea from spring, we pressed it and then I just totally forgot about it. It was sitting in the tea factory in Kunming for like 2 months, and they said, "Hey, you're gonna come get your tea," and I said, "What tea?" And they're like, San He Zhai. So finally we got this tea. We're gonna list it pretty soon, and it's definitely a good tea for aging. It's very powerful. It's blended, so it's not just one village tea. So the strength of blended teas is that you have maybe one area's tea is strong in this way, and another area's tea is more sweet and aromatic, and one has more bitterness, and when you blend them together creates a lot of depth. So we're gonna give this a try. This is still a pretty fresh tea, just pressed a couple months ago, and but all spring teas. So let's give it a try. You should definitely check out the 2011 Yunnan Sourcing San He Zhai video that we made pretty recent. I think it was the last video that we made. Let's give this a try. I'm going to drink the wash here. And we still may be doing a 2017 Yunnan Sourcing impression, which is our budget series. We've also done some videos on those. I think there's 4 videos total about the impression cakes. You might want to check those out if you're looking for something really kind of budget but good raw puer for aging. This is San He Zhai is definitely a step up. It's not expensive. I don't know exactly what we're going to list this for yet, but it's it's definitely like a medium range tea. Definitely not not an expensive tea, but not super cheap either. First impression, creamy, almost buttery, but the tannins really haven't been released yet, so we're going to get something else in the next steeping here. That's just really nice and kind of almost oolongy in character without that bitterness in the beginning. The other thing that we are working on, I figured I'd mention it since, is our autumn teas, which we've basically pretty much all decided on now. And despite me telling myself that I was going to control myself this autumn and not buy too many teas, I ended up making quite a few teas. We're going to be making some great teas from Yiwu. Looks like Yishanmo, the first time that we produced at Yishanmo village. Mansong, which is actually going to be a small tree. It's a naturally growing, what they call Sheng Tai Cha, so it's not old tree, but it's naturally growing. Very nice. Mansong, not Mongsong. Mongsong is in Bulang. Mansong is in Yiwu. And it's a really incredible tea. The old tree tea from that area is so very rare, and the price is just completely through the roof. But the xiaoshu as they call it, or small tree, is mind-blowingly good. So again, the tea trumps the age of the tea trees in my opinion. It's really more important how the actual tea is. Let's give this a try here. Yeah, you can really just taste the kind of creamy, almost Yiwu-like character actually that the Jinggu tea brings to this. But then behind that is there's this real kind of strong you know, bitter, astringent, but it's not overpowering. It's just really well balanced. They tend to kind of pull it like a gyroscope that's like trying to get pulled in one direction but stays in the center. Yeah, there's a little bit of that nuttiness too, kind of like chestnutty kind of taste as well. Let's keep going here. Try to keep it, you know, going pretty fast here. Not too much burnt stuff at all. Very well produced tea. It's interesting because I have heard a few people saying that this spring wasn't a good season harvest for tea, but in fact I think for the tea itself it was a great harvest. The problem with the 2017 spring harvest is that the weather was really quite dry, and the harvest, the amount of tea that was harvested was much less than normal. But the quality of the tea itself I find to be great. I find it to be in most cases, not in every case, better than the 2016 spring teas. Although 2016 spring was not a shabby year at all. So I you know, I'm not sure why people are saying that 2017 spring. I guess maybe for some of the growers it wasn't such a good year because they didn't get you know, the amount of tea that they wanted. So from that, you know, it's all perspective and depends on whose perspective you're talking about, but we found great teas. We kind of went overboard in the spring. Let's go here. Let me get this one, next one. So my trusty silver pot. This is the Mountain and Water silver teapot, 120 milliliters on the site. I believe $330. Great teapot, perfect size. I use this like kind of all day long. Sometimes I drink puer, ripe to raw or whatever. I can just keep changing it up. Wow, this has really opened up. Really bright yellow tea soup. Very nice. It's got a It does have a little bit of almost like a jade oolong, like a kind of like slightly not ripe peach kind of fruitiness to it, kind of like some of these Taiwanese high mountain oolongs have, but not just that. It's got a lot more going on too. I'm getting a lot of mouth watering kind of thing coming off my tongue here. I've had quite a few teas today, so pardon me if I'm a little, you know, not entirely focused. I just drank a 2001 Yiwu tea that was, I think, stored in Yiwu or wet stored somewhere. I'm not sure yet. We just got a sample, and pretty good, pretty solid. I drank a 1996 and an Yiwu Zhaoxiang ripe brick, and that's Zhaoxiang Yi is the more coarse leaf. That's really good. I think we're going to be offering that. Yesterday we drank a 2000 or late 90s 7562, you know, Small Tea Factory, kind of their own version of the 7562 brick. Really unique. I think it was made from Mao Cha that had a lot of smokiness because it still had smokiness, and smokiness in ripe tea is very rare. It's interesting because I was joking about calling it like, you know, barbecue slider or something like that, because it was, you know, very barbecue, almost, you know, smoky like barbecue, but it had a lot of that ripe puer and it was aged, so it was really interesting. Hopefully we'll offer that as well. We've got a lot of new teas that are going to be coming online soon, so, and a lot of aged ones. This is a very refined tea, very powerful, complex. It's very dense. It's very light and expansive, but it's also really pungent and hangs out in the mouth as well. So, you know, that initial, like when it's in your mouth and right after you get that returning sweetness, and then you get this kind of like thickness that hangs out in the mouth. Some people like that. That tends to be a lot with the younger teas, but it's got what they call liugan, which I think is a good sign for its aging possibilities. Uh-oh. I forgot to put tea in here. I just wasted your time. You're going to have to listen to me longer now. What else? There's always something going on. Oh yes, we looks like we will be producing our very first Yunnan Sourcing certified organic raw and ripe teas, which we are really, really excited. We met some growers in the Wuliang area of Simao, and they are certified organic by JAS EcoCert, and so that means that they're also USDA certified organic vis-a-vis the JAS EcoCert certificates that they have. So be looking for that. We will be definitely producing tea probably in the next couple of months, and it'll be the very first Yunnan Sourcing brand certified organic tea. So we're really excited about being able to offer that, and we are always going to be. We're really making it a priority to source clean teas and into the future as well. So yeah. Anyways, something to look forward to. There's always, you know, I am a fairly insatiable kind of person when it comes to tea and when it comes to standards. So, you know, things are always going to be heading in that direction, and you know, new teas, clean teas, always expanding. Like, we really want to expand our age selection as well, because we realize that it's sometimes lacking. But I'm very, you know, just the video that we just shot talking about our standards and how we choose tea, I'm very selective about how we choose the tea. So I really always want to have a good, solid price to quality ratio. So. Just nice, really thick. There's almost like a buttery aspect to this tea. And although I'm not going to share with you which 3 villages, not so much that they're really a secret, but simply because I want to keep this particular blend kind of, I want it to have its own identity. I don't want it to be something, you know, the sum of 3 things, because it's more than the sum of its 3 parts. So we're not going to talk about which villages they came from, but and I've done it again. I get all excited when I pour the tea into the cha hai and I want to drink it. Really nice. Sometimes it's often hard for me to describe these teas. They're very personal too, because I created them. And the way that I drink tea is very much from the Chinese tradition, where you talk about things in terms of, mouthfeel, aroma, strength, pungency, cha-qi, things like that, and less so about flavors. I feel, and I think I've said this many times before, that raw puer is really more about the overall feeling of the tea than it is about the flavors, because if you just go by the flavors, it's not going to be the experience that is really going to be one that grabs you. But when you drink raw puer enough, and teas like this that have really good, nice qi and a nice, expansive mouthfeel, and this kind of like downward, feeling here, you drink the teas and it's just kind of like, oh yeah. So to me, it's really more about the feeling of the tea than it is about the taste. The taste is definitely a factor, but again, it's really about the feel. Hopefully, there's something in this video that will pique your interest about this tea. There are samples, so you can try it. I do really feel like it's a tea that's a solid ager, and it's entirely spring tea as well. So it's not like we blended, less expensive autumn tea in there. Not to say bad things about autumn tea, because there's great autumn teas that are powerful, but in this San He Zhai is just purely spring tea. Let's drink one more here. This could keep going. This is definitely a strong tea, or an infusible tea. It could go many, many infusions. Let's see. Not much else to say here. Definitely keep an eye out. We will be having a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. Probably have various levels of discounts for different products, but it'll definitely be a big sale, and it'll be our biggest sale of the year. So if you're thinking about picking up some stuff from Yunnan Sourcing before the end of the month, that would be a good time for you to do it. The sales that we're going to have leading up to that won't be shabby either. So either way, there's always an opportunity to get stuff at a discount if you want it. But that's about it. Just a real low-key video today. San He Zhai 2017. Check it out. I think if you are looking for a nice spring cake with a lot of balance, you could look to this one. If you had to get one cake for aging for the future, this would be an excellent choice. So yeah, check it out. There is a sample available on yunansourcing.com.